Here I go again. Just got out of done with pneumonia for 2 years. I wonder if I got anything left in me. So I got the heavy bag out and I was hanging it up and I said, well, I'm going to go out there and hit it and see what I can get. Maybe I can get 3 or 4. If they all jump me at once, I can break 3 noses and knock out a couple guys. If they want to jump me. And I'm an old man, 75. I wonder if I can still do that. Because I used to be able to do that. I took on a bunch of guys at once, knocked everybody out. Yeah. I'm into slap boxing now. Because I don't go and fight in the ring anymore. I take that morning kick. Oh, take 2 scoops of it, too. Yeah. It gives me some vigorous vitality. 75. Here I go. Let's see what I got. What do I got? Do I still got it? Let's see. Knock him out cold with a slap. Can't do too much of this. Gets too long. People only watch 3 minutes or so. They give me 3 minutes of their time. Next! I'm digging a garden. Right now. Had to get my blood moving. Yeah. Now I got my shovel digging. I'm gonna get in shape again, people. Got another 65. I asked God for another 70 when I was 70. 75. So I only got 65 more years to go, right? But Trump says, you know anybody 150 years old we're paying Social Security to? I was going to respond, maybe me. I might be 150, so don't lower the law that you ain't going to pay anybody anything after 150 years. That's what you're trying to do, right? Put us all in the grave. Quick. No, he's not. He was joking. He goes, we're making payments to people. Elon Musk just found $1 trillion, right? That we're getting hoodwinked out of by people in government. And he hasn't even gone under the ice cap yet. He's just the tip of the iceberg. He's got $1 trillion. And once he gets done with the government, he's going to go into the hoodwinking, arbitrating businesses that are hoodwinking everybody out of their money. Nobody can do anything about it because you can't take them to court. We gave up our rights to the foreigners, people. To all the foreigners, they got the rights to come in and arbitrate. I arbitrated over a Bible. I bought a Bible, $40. Aramaic Bible. Translated into English. Wanted to see what Jesus spoke like. I waited. I called PayPal. What happened to my book? Oh, we'll call him. A month later goes by, I call him. Oh, they arbitrated that. They said they sent you the book, and you owed them the money. That's it. Too bad. I didn't get any book. They sent you the book, they said. You didn't get it? Too bad. Well, what about PayPal? If you don't get what you buy, they back you, right? Click. Click. Because they know there's got to be a scam. They know it's got to be a scam. Because more than one person must have got caught in that. They didn't send them a Bible either. So how many people did they get? Did they give whoever it is interest in it? A little bit, 5%. I don't know what they do. Government is so corrupt now. We lobby and we get the laws changed, and then once they're changed and the people get their benefits, then the law's changed back so you can't get the benefits anymore because the people who lobbied for it got their benefits. I saw it happen. It happened to me. And I was a real estate broker, a school teacher. There's so much corruption in our government. It wants to make God puke sometimes. There's so much corruption. And Elon must do the bust. Get in there and get them people. Freeze their bank accounts. Don't let them leave the country with their money. And then you can get it back. If they leave the country with your money, you ain't going to get it back. Not in their lifetime. Might be able to trace it down if you got a lead on it somehow. Might get some of them, but you ain't going to get them all. They're out of here with the money they stole. $1 trillion so far. Elon Musk did the bust. $1 trillion. Trump still scratches his head how he's going to collect it. Now he's going to collect it. He wants to see. Because they gave it to him. They're going to get it right back the same way they gave it to him. Corruption. That's what I'm talking about. Corruption. Who gets into the government and flies billions of dollars to the Arabs? Huh? Who does that? And then kneels and apologizes to them. The United States of America. Kneeling to the Arabs. Well, I'm an Arab. I live in the United States. I have Arab heritage. I was a Sicilian. And the Arabs owned Sicily for 200 years. As old as the United States. They had a big influence. If you were an infidel, you got your head chopped off. If you didn't become Muslim, it must be I was a Muslim then, because here I am talking about it. My ancestry didn't end with a chopped off head. Infidel. They fly planes in the buildings thinking that if they kill 3,000 infidels, there'll be 17 virgins waiting for them in heaven. But they've been hoodwinked because there's no sex in heaven, people. There's no lust in heaven. God doesn't have lust anymore in heaven. The only lust you do is after his heart. You lust after God's heart. You love him. And it's pure, holy love, not lust love. That's the type of love they're calling love with your face, making God gag. When he thinks about it. Let alone knows what's going on. I don't think he gets his supper and sit down and watches everything. No, I don't think so. It's not like that. And it's worse than that. What they're doing. Taking and adopting a little child and bringing it home and giving it everything you want. Oh, I got a daddy and a daddy. Oh, I'm so happy. They love me too. They're giving me everything. They give it to me. And then the kid has to listen at night. At night he hears. And he hears the gagging and the choking and then the oohing and the ah and everything. And he goes, what is going on? He's only 4 or 5 years old. You don't know what's going on. So he goes to Daddy, and Daddy says, what you were doing last night? I heard all this gagging and choking. What were you doing? And their answer to him was, son, you'll understand when you get old enough. You'll understand. So when the child does get old enough, guess what? He's answering it with a jar of Vaseline in his hand. He's looking for a man. That's what you did to him. You perverts. You're gonna burn in hell if you don't repent. You can repent. God will forgive you. But if you don't repent, you're going to burn. Because there's no more thing more disgusting than a child being perverted. There's no coming back after that. You die in that sin. You're in hell forever. Watch my films. I'll tell you how I was perverted when I was 8, 7, 9. 789 or 987. Now, those are my lucky numbers. I play that in the lottery. The ages I was molested at. Yeah, that's the way it is in today's society. You give the faggots their rights, and you give them an inch, and all of a sudden they got a mile, and then they steal your flag. They steal the covenant between God and man. The colors. Oh, the beautiful colors. Mine is the rooster. The colorful rooster. I'm a Cruceista. I mean a Crucio, Christian movement. I had a rainbow on my bumper. Somebody stopped me and said, "Oh, you're one of those, huh?" And I said, "What do you mean?" "Oh, you're a Cruceista?" I said, "Yeah, how'd you know it?" "I'm a Cruceista too. But let me hit you. The homosexuals took the colors of the rainbow, and now they represent homosexuality. So if you have that on your bumper, you're a faggot." And I looked at her and I says, "I'll have to think about that one." It was on my van too. What did I do? I sold the van. I don't know what they did with that thing that was on it. My bumper. I didn't take my bumper sticker off because I'm going to let the faggots steal the rainbow away from me. And I still have a rainbow prayer shawl. It's earth tone colors. It's not bright, that bright yellow and bright red and bright blue and all that colors. But no, I just perked up a little bit. I said, I gotta do something today, God. Let me do something. Just a couple hours. That'll be okay. Then I can feel that I did something and go to sleep, maybe, and enjoy. The saying is, if he does not work, he should not eat. That's a true fact, but it's not because he didn't work. I mean, people work and they still eat, and people don't work and they still eat. But what that was meant was, if a man doesn't work, he shouldn't eat. Because his body needs, you fill up and all you do is store fat. You gotta work, or you become a fat man. Like me. I learned. You learn from experience, people. I've been in the best shape, and I've been in the worst shape. I've been in the hospital in a deathbed, squeezing my teeth, and Cheddar in there saying to me, what's your sex life like? Did you make love to somebody? We don't know what you got. What do you got? Yeah, I got a good case of Vietnam. That's what I got. Agent Orange. And I come back and my wife had a baby blob. Nobody heard about that. That wasn't national news, was it? Well, that's what happened to me. Baby blob. Father of a baby blob. Vietnam and Agent Orange. I was in it more than anybody else because I was on the deck that they just sprayed and we went right through it up the river. And everybody was underneath breathing fresh air. And I was up there gagging, choking, snot running out of my nose, my eyes watering. Just like in boot camp when you go through the tear gas. Same thing happens with diesel fuel and Agent Orange. Oh, man. Snot, tears, and everything. I've been through that, too. So they say, thank you for your service. Well, how about saying thank you for your suffering? I suffered. Everybody else ran to Canada and burned the draft cards, and I went in the hospital, got an operation so I could serve my country. They sent me to Vietnam with stitches in my side. And when I came back, they didn't get me. So I came back to try to send me right back. But the law was, and they were breaking it. Unless they had me stationed in the United States and then sent me back to Vietnam on an aircraft carrier. That's what they were trying to do. And they did it way ahead of time because you're supposed to wait 6 months when you come back from a war zone before you send them back into a war zone. They didn't wait a month. Sending me right back to Vietnam on an aircraft carrier. And God knows where they're going to dump me off. Shake them off over here. They'll eliminate them in that village there. That's what I think they do. They call people, they find out what their IQ is, and they start a war and go put all the guys with low IQs into the war. Call the herd, thin them out. Because when I was so pooped, had stitches in my side, they wanted me to take a test, so I just filled in all the circles and laid my head down and went to sleep. They thought I was the dumbest guy walking. Little did they know, they made me the star flag. Athletic, because I was in so good shape, man. I could do 50 chin-ups and push-ups, and oh man, I was in good shape. And I looked it too. I got some pictures. And they made me petty officer for the athletic squad, and we won the star flag. We marched with the star flag. We won. We were the best. I organized it all and illustrated it. Then we went and did it. And we won. Star flag. That was a proud moment in my life. Star flag in boot camp, and they gave me a stripe for it. There's a story that goes along with it. It's very sad, but someday I might tell it. But anyways, everything that's good ends up bad, it seems sometimes. But that's what we have to do. We have to continue and do, and not continue and don't do. Lay in bed, curl up into a little ball, and let your organs die. Wither away. Instead of me coming in and saying, get out of bed right now. And I'm sick and tired of you laying in bed. Get up and move around, or you're gonna die. You son of a bitch. You're the worst mistake I ever made. That's what I get after 60 years, people. 60 years, I get that. And I gotta deal with it and forget it. Forget it. Try to make it better and do nice things for her. Make her feel like she's a queen somehow. The only child. Not the only child, she's the youngest child. She's the baby of the family, all 4 girls, and she was the baby. So she's used to being baby, so I try to baby her. She gets everything she wants. A queen 200 years ago don't have what she has right now. You should see her bedroom. She's got the finest furniture. She's got it all, man. And it's a mess. A wreck. I should have known that when I first met her and walked into her bedroom when she showed me her house where she lived. It wasn't dirty, with dirt and stuff. It was just clothes here, clothes there. Her mother worked at the Salvation Army, and they brought clothes home, and she tried them on. They were all over the place. And that's the way it is now. Clothes all over the inside of the house, downstairs and upstairs. I'm looking at a year to clean it up, because I got to do it all. She won't do anything. She runs with her niece. They're out right now, out running around, when she could be home helping me fix this place up. She'd rather be with her niece, enjoying time, because who knows, she's only got 2 weeks left, she thinks, because she's going to have an operation on carotid arteries in 2 weeks. Both of them. One at a time, I think, I hope. Hope they don't know 2 of them. I don't know if anybody does 2 of them at a time. Yeah, if something goes wrong, you're done. At least you got to have 1 artery pumping blood to your head. You got 2 carotid arteries, and then her right eye is bleeding, so they have to stick a needle in it every month, cauterize it. Cauterize the veins that are bleeding. Stick a needle in your eye. That's what she gets. She's 30 years of DRE for the Catholic Church. Went through living hell lots of times with her job and her me. And that was the best thing she did was to marry me, because I didn't cheat on her. I got drunk one night and almost did, but I didn't. You can't call me that I had penetration and I was making love. I didn't do anything like that. I almost did. Some guy that didn't realize that he wanted to get me back for embarrassing him in front of his wife. I told him, I told her about a girl he went after that was husband had just died in front of his wife. And so the next time he saw me, he gave me drinks. And he made a fool out of me. He gave me doubles. I have a 3-drink limit. And he gave me double shots. So I was drunk and didn't know it until I got drunk. I know I could handle 3. That was back in my early days. I haven't drank since I was 29 years old. And in my 20s, my 30s, pure. My 40s, pure. My 50s, pure. My 60s, pure. I'm 75 and that's still pure. So how many years have I been faithful to my wife? You figure it out. I've been married 55. God knows all my sin. And I've tried not to sin anymore since then. And then he gave me this place. 2 trailers on it. I took and moved the trailers off after I built a house, the back part of it. Everybody's house on the street went up 100 grand, 150 grand. One house went up, what's 35,000 away from 240,000. One house went up the street here for $205,000, and it's a junk. It's a tin, 2.5-inch walls and stuff. They bring them in helicopters back in the 60s and drop them off. Went for $240,000. People in New York City couldn't believe they could get out of New York City for only $200,000 in a neighborhood that was respectable, had a good school system and everything. Get out of New York for over, just a little bit over 200 grand. That was a deal for them. And they took it. That house that didn't even sell for $35,000 at one time when I had the trailers on this street, couldn't even sell it for $35,000. Went for $240,000. So am I an asset to the street? And then they all sold and moved out. And then all these new people come moving in, living together and doing their thing, you know. You got histories too. But anyways, they move in and they bring who they are, and you got to accept them. But they're not going to accept you. If your grass is grown, they call the police on you. I had my lights put on, and the lady came out and says, "Those lights are bothering my dog's eyes. You got to not have them out on your property for Christmas time." After I've lived here 45 years, she comes out and tells me that. And then also she tells me, one time I'm standing out in the middle of the road. She goes, "Oh, the guy's starting his car up. Get out of the middle of the road." I looked at her. She said, "I got 2 4-year degrees and 1 2-year degree. Do I have enough sense to get out of the middle of the road if a car is coming?" That's what you get with these little bitches. They go around trying to rule everything. They're mother hens. Don't come next to my nest. I'll peck you to death. That's just the way it is, too. So I had a fight with them all. All 4 of them at the same time came out at me. I didn't do nothing to them. Tried to be nice to them. Tried to be a nice person to them. Tried to befriend them and all that stuff. They came out and started complaining about my weeds on my fence. My grass is growing too high in the front. I've got something parked in the front of my driveway. What do they care? "Oh, it don't look good. Oh, we go down on the street. Well, you should have seen it with the 2 trailers on it. Yeah, everybody should have a card out there with a donation in it for my water wells down in Kenya because their houses went up so high." Poor people that had to buy them that high, though. They'll be paying for them forever. $250,000 for a house that wouldn't sell for 35. I'm a broker. House wouldn't sell for 35,000. They had to put it in what was that program? There was some type of a government program that they had to put it into to sell it to people who didn't have any money. Bring them in and pay for it for them and fix it up for them and everything. And then after they did that, they sold it. It's like Chinese coming in, or the Taiwanese or something like that, and they bag from all the churches. And all the churches, they give them a refrigerator, a stove, a bedroom suit, rugs, carpets, everything. They give it all to them, and they're sitting pretty, right? You know what they do? They have a garage sale and sell everything and split after you give them everything to live on. That's what they do. I saw it happen down in Florida. The whole community's out trying to help out these people. They see all this wealth coming in and everything. And then behind your back, they have a garage sale. They sell everything and move out of the area. You don't even get to look them in the face anymore after you help them out. And that's what's going on in the United States. They come in the United States. A man works his whole life. He only makes $350 a month Social Security because he didn't work enough. Somebody comes out, didn't do a dang thing in the country, and they get as much as a retired military veteran. Oh, almost $4,000, $3,800 they were giving refugees. The last I was contacted, 31 to 38, somewhere around there. Heck, my brother worked his whole life. Got his head beat in. Got his head beat in by using the name nigger. And he's a nigger. I'm a nigger. Can't use that name? Why can't I? Because I'm white? Well, I'm black, too. So, the blacks go around and call us white crackers and stuff. You cracker, you whitey. Well, I'm a white black man. How you like that? I'm an Arab Jew. And I got Catholicism in me. How you like that? Where's respect for me? And I got Buddhism. Look at my eyes if you don't believe I'm not Chinese. Look at my eyes. Sometimes I have a yellow tone to my skin when I'm in the sun. So I know I got them all in me, man. I'm everybody. How can I be prejudiced? My brother was prejudiced. And he got beat over the head with a crowbar because of it. The guy was a merchant marine, and he gets out of his truck, and he's looking at my brother talking on the phone. He says, boy, get off that phone, I want to use it. My brother just looks at him. He's a number one in the world as a middleweight. Knocked out the African champion in the 5th round. And this guy, big brute guy, as big as Sonny Liston, my brother said. What are you looking at, boy? Because my brother just stared at him after he said, get off the phone, boy. I want to use it. And my brother just stared at him. He said, what are you looking at? And my brother goes, a big black nigger. And this guy went berserk, come flying at him. He was going to tear him apart. And my brother knocked him out cold. Threw him in his truck. And then turned his back because he'd been drinking. Turned his back, talking on the phone, trying to get somebody to pick him up. He got in a fight with somebody else, He was in that fighting age. This guy wakes up and finds, he said, that son of a bitch, I'm going to kill him. And he gives a crowbar. And he goes out, sneaks up behind him, and wham, over the head. Hits my brother. Wham. My brother goes down, and he's beating him and beating him. He says, what are you trying to do, kill me? Because I use the word nigger. And I'm a nigger. I can't use the word nigger. I get around a bunch of niggers. Yeah, that's what they say to each other. Hey, nigger, what's happening? Hey, come on over here, nigger. Tell me about your family. How's your wife doing? You leave my wife alone, nigger. Don't even talk about my wife. They're brothers, but they don't let being taken advantage of. And that's what I am. I'm a nappy half. I'm a 4/4 something. I'm black. I'm white. I'm Irish. I'm Italian. I'm French. I got Arab in me. I'm Arabic. Aramaic. I'm a Jew. My whole mother's side of the family are Jews. My old grandfather's side of the family were Muslims. Arabs from Sicily. They owned that from 900 AD to 1100 AD. They ruled it. If you were a Muslim, you were beheaded. So I guess I was a Muslim at one time too. So I'm talking to the Muslims. Blessed Mother is saying, come home, children. Come home to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Yes, come home. You're just as much as a family as anyone else, purebred or not. And you were conceived, you got a soul and a guardian angel, and a chance to find God in life. And that's the way it is with God. He don't discriminate on who comes into the world. That's why abortion is such a sin. Because you're killing babies that have a soul and a guardian angel, and they are listening to them cry. Why are you chopping my arm off? Why are you tearing my leg off? What did I do? Don't I get a chance for life too? How many times have I preached about this? God is watching, people. You don't understand. He's watching everything. And His harvest is the choicest. And many are called, but few are chosen. St. Faustina was talking to a soul, and they said, oh yeah, there was 2,000 priests trying to get into the gates of heaven. She goes, how many men got in? And the source said, 3, just 3, got into the gates of heaven. All the rest were the sins of the flesh, greed, money, power, debauchery. Their ministry is valid. They can say Mass and they can hear confessions and it's valid because it's the ministry doing it. But the person that's doing it can go to hell. If they don't obey God's words, the judgment is upon them. So, when you look at the Catholic Church, don't look at the bad. Look at the good. If we quit giving what we give, the government systems wouldn't be able to handle all the poor people in the world we're handling. We're in there putting our 2 cents in compared to what they could put in. They could put water wells all over that Florida. Maybe they should. Something's got to go on down there. They got to get a reverse osmosis down in Florida. It's gigantic, and spend money on it and have it cost them money to run it, or you're going to be thirsty forever down there. You got to change that ocean water or the groundwater from brackish water back into pure water again. And the reverse osmosis units that they used at the time couldn't handle all it. Couldn't handle the mass that was needed. They couldn't make units big enough to supply all the people with the water they needed. So they got to come up with something. That's where our money should be going into. Not to the stars, to try to get to the stars and get the technology. Get the technology to survive on Earth. That's what we need the money to go to. Don't let Satan grab it and try to get out of town before Jesus gets here. He'll be on another planet, planning something else. That's what he thinks. But this time, God has issued the command. His angels are going to gather them all up, stick them in hell, and lock the door, and seal it so you can't smell them. Because they smell like a can of worms in the sun. A dead can of worms. Yuck. Close the door and seal it. I never want to look in that again or smell it. Let them burn forever. The soul is eternal. And it's good fuel for the fire that will warm up the universe. So all you people that sin, you're nothing but fuel. You'll be nothing but fuel if you go with Satan. Because there's not going to be any place for him to go once the doors are locked. He doesn't know what solitary confinement is when you can't even see your hand in front of your face. You gave it all up. You gave it all up because you tried to be God. And you're not. even a pea brain next to him. God made you who you are. Remember that. God made you who you are, and He forgives the sin that happens to you. So confess it and ask Him for forgiveness and go on and receive His body and blood. Confess your sin like He tells you. John, what was it? John 20, verses 19, 23. Is that right? I think. Confess your sins to one another. The priest. Because if you confess your sins and one of them doesn't forgive you, but the 9 other did, but one of them doesn't, who determines if you're forgiven or not? That's why the priest has the power to forgive sin. He has the power. God gave it to him. Go forth, teach all nations. Those sins you forgive shall be forgiven. Those sins you shall retain shall be retained. And how do you retain sin? You're not sorry for it. If the priest asks if you're sorry, you say no. You don't get absolution. You have to be sorry for your sin and try to do it no more and avoid all near occasions of sin. And it's a chore. It's a fight that God loves to watch. And he's a fan of the ring, he likes to watch good boxing matches and stuff. But the real fight is in there and up against the devil who's smarter than you. But because of God's grace and mercy, you beat the devil. You may not want to admit it, but you beat the devil when you don't go his way. Even think about it. God says if you think it in your heart, you might as well done it in the flesh. So don't even think about things of the past or things that could be the future, or try to presently get into somebody somehow. Perverts. The world's full of them. And it's good they're coming out too. That's why, make things relax, let everybody, okay, relax all the laws, find out who's doing what now, make it so it's not against the law, let's see who's doing what. And then shut the door. Get them all. Find out who they are and get them out of here. That's the way to do it. Believe me, we're up against a 4,000-year-old culture. We go up against the Chinese, and they'll put us right under. And they got 1 billion people more than us. They can charge 25 cents an hour and let them live like kings. But only charge 25 cents an hour so they can beat the United States on the market, who's charging $15 an hour or more. Beat us on the market, take our patents without paying for them or anything. We don't owe them any money. We should tell them, go to Alaska and dig for it. There's a lot of gold up there. Go and get it. We get 50% of it, and we get to monitor everything you do. And if you want your money back, because we're not paying it back to you, because you stole it from us, why should we pay it back what you stole? So am I talking sense, people? Simply blessed me as God talks through me. God sees it. Who tells anybody about it? Whoever God wills does it. There's plenty of men out there doing the same thing as me. And thunder is coming. The lightning will strike. And the earth shall perish. All the living creatures perish, but the earth shall be sustained. The earth shall go on, and God will come with his people and dwell in one of his mansions. A mansion is earth. There's other mansions bigger than earth, but earth is the birth. Now, if you love God, seek him, seek his will. If you don't, You'll be very sorry and in tears forever. You had a chance to love God and you didn't. So I keep on going. I go through days where I just can't take it anymore. I go, God, the pain is just so great. I can't do it no more. I give up. I throw my guitar and everything, man. I'm so frustrated. Temperamental. Oh, artist. He turned me into an artist. Guitar. I'm blooming in my old age. Got 400 videos on YouTube. I'm going to get famous after I'm dead. But I want to will all the money goes down for water wells. Especially in the Kenya area where they eat meat. I come up against the Monsignor and he says, oh, you're helping out people in Africa. Who are you helping out? And I says, like people from Kenya. Oh, Kenya? Oh, don't help them. They eat meat up there. And you help people in my country. We don't eat meat here. I says, is that why the monkeys rule? Because I see you don't have monkey breath or meat breath, so the monkeys aren't fearful of you, and they grab your women and fill them up and grab their groceries and their bags, and they go into your cupboards and your houses and everything. You let them because they're reincarnated and all that stuff. They could have been human beings at one time, or they're going to be human beings, or what? How do you think? How does that? They get them laws. I mean, they're still Catholic, but the Catholic Church made them Catholic. But they still have those old thoughts. Oh, don't help them out. They eat meat up there. They're evil. No. God said, rebuild my church, Francis. So he went out and got mortar and stone. And he started rebuilding churches, God says, no. It's not building a church. It's building my kingdom in men's hearts. You are a tabernacle of God. He dwells in you. You dwell in him on a daily basis if you desire. I try. I say my rosary. Oh, I hope I say it right. But I've got so many people praying the rosary for me now because I'm a member of every rosary place. That's why I call myself a shadow. Shadow of the rosary, because I got all these shadow places that are praying the rosary for me. Like all the babies down in Kenya. All those children out there are praying the rosary for me. They said Father James K. J.K. He says, Billy, they're down here praying for you. All the children saying the rosary for you. You get them water wells down here. That's one conversation. And then he had a bad situation happen. There was a Joseph Kariuki who was a priest too. It was national news. He came up with his fortune, his little pockets full of money. Everybody gives alms to people. That's their nature. That's how they're cultured. Give alms atones for sins. So the priests get all this money. All of a sudden, they're in the bushes, and then now they're in the churches. And they come to the United States, and they don't have anybody taking care of churches, so they make bishops and monsignors out of them. And now you got a guy that just had a spear in his hand, bossing everybody around. That's how Satan wants you to think it. But it isn't how it is. These men that come up from Africa are well educated, very sophisticated, very opinionated, and very close to God. That's my observation of them. There are some in there that, because of lack of experience, look like they're greedy and they take when they shouldn't take. And then once they get corrected, and once they find out, this is the way to do it here in the United States, and there's ways to check out, especially you pay with a check. You find out where the check went. So, I had one I gave a donation to, $500 for his ministry, and $1,000 for the ministry. He was going down to see Father James Kariuki. And I said, well, here's $1,000 for him in the ministry down there. He goes, I have a ministry. There's more that's needed down there than water wells. I says, well, right now I'm focusing on water wells, and I want this money to go there. So he went down, spent time with Father James, and I called him back. I says, did he give you your money and stuff? What money? I said, I gave him $1,000 to give to you. And he said he gave it to an orphan instead because they wouldn't pay her bills and they wouldn't operate on her anymore because she was an orphan and she didn't have any money. He was just going to let her die. So he gave the money to her. And he shows me a picture of her sitting at the desk. Little 5-year-old girl, 6-year-old girl, somewhere around here, looking up at me. Yeah. Oh, well, I wonder if I'll ever see that girl. If it was true or not. If I helped out an orphan because she couldn't pay her bills. So I let it slide. I still have the check, though. He wrote me a check to give me the money back. But he told me that's what he did with it. And he left it up to me. And the check is still over the picture of Padre Pio and St. Faustina. Yeah. As a reminder, you can never tell, man. God knows your intentions, and that's all that matters. Like Father Chris Eller. His last $60 he gave to some poor crying lady out in front of a liquor store, and he didn't realize that it was a liquor store. He just heard her confession, and she was poor, her family needed money and everything, and he had $60 in his pocket, and he gave it to her. And he got in his car and went up the one-way street. Had to turn around and come back. When he turned around and come back, guess who was coming out of this liquor store with a couple bottles of booze and a carton of cigarettes with his $60 he just gave her? That's Father Chris telling that story. It's not what's done with the money, it's the intentions of it. And God knows your intentions. So don't feel bad if you give and you get spit in the face back. Because that's what happens. That is the nature. That's suffering in Christ. You gave for the good, and you got back for the bad. From the bad. Oh, you learn a lot when you go through life, and you see people doing hoodwinking games, and you sit there and look at it, and there would have been a time in my life when I would try that, when I didn't have any money either. Most of these musicians that do this stuff rob people of their cash. When they come in and deal with cash, they get you for $100. I don't know where these guys are coming from, but that's getting to be quite a big thing with the music companies. Especially Guitar Center. They're $65 million in the red. How's that? Because people are stealing them blind. You hire a bunch of poor people. They come in, you're paying them minimum wage. They're waiting for the first break so they can stick a $2,000 guitar in their trunk when you leave them in charge and you left the building and you don't have cameras in the back. They know where all the cameras are. If you have cameras. Because they're assistant managers. You made them. And you're getting robbed and you'll never know until inventory. Oh, where the heck did all them guitars and amps and all that expensive equipment go? How did they get that out of here? Without us seeing them. And it's inside, that's why. And you don't think that the Guitar Center knows that? That's why they monitor everything. And that's why I know they've got that guy ripping me off for $100. And then when I got the cops and brought him in, they told him, we don't want him back in here. He accused us and he has no proof for nothing. And I got proof. Because the guy before me they did it to. They wouldn't give me his name. I was going to ask the cop what his name was. And I forgot. So he says, he takes me to the door and I go out the door and he goes, now if you come back in here, I'm going to have to arrest you. You realize that? He says, is there anything else you want to ask me? And I says, no, not that I can think of. So I got to the car and I start, why don't he get the name of that guy that they took the $100 just an hour before me? Then there's two of us that they ripped off. Because he left in a storm. He paid the extra $100 and left. I don't think he's probably ever been back there. But they ripped him. I saw him do it. Two hoodwinking assistant managers. One of them, assistant manager, was training another one. He was training the way he wanted them to be. Hoodwinker, get an extra 100. I'll show you. I'll split it with you. We'll get 100. See how many we can get today. Anybody who deals with cash, get them for $100. Tell them that you're $100 short. And then look them in the eye. And then they look you back and they say, you crook. Oh, what are you calling me? You calling me names? You're saying I'm a thief? You're saying I'm a lying thief? And I stole that money? Yeah, you hoodwinking crook. And how I proved it? He says, you're $100 short. I says, why? He says, those 250s that you had down there, they weren't 250s, they were 220s. Because you had 3 piles of 50s, 250s in each pile. And I counted it out to him. I said, there's 300, right? And he goes, yep. I said, how much more? And he goes, $68 more. So I gave him a $72 tip. Then I said, oh, I forgot a tuner. So I got a tuner and I come back. It took me, I don't know how long, 3-4 minutes or something like that. He's scheming. I got a pile of money in with my wallet on top of it. I don't know if he went in my wallet and grabbed a 50. Could have got me for more than 100. And they did, too, because I had to pay 60, because here's how I caught him. He says, you're $100 short. I says, how do you figure that? He says, well, those weren't 250s there, they were 220s. And I said, well, how can I be $100 short unless you got it in your mind, you stuck those 250s in your pocket and took those 220s out of my other pile and put them in their place, and now you're telling me I'm $100 short? And you're assistant manager? You're stupid. I'm $60 short, idiot. Idiot. I was $60 short, not $100 short. I would have been $100 short if if the 250s weren't in there. And the 220s only makes me $60 short, not 100. But he had it in his mind. He put 100 in his pocket. He forgot to subtract the 220s. He took out the other pile, put it in his replacement. And all he had in his mind is he took 100 from me. So he's telling me, you're $100 short. And he's stoned out of his brains. He's got black fingernails and tattoo every place on his body. And he's calling me, oh, you calling me a thief? You calling me a liar? I'm saying I stole something from you? And the other guy did the same thing to the guy before me. He said the same thing. Oh, you're calling me a liar? I took it back there, had it counted. You're $100 short. The guy's looking around for a pile of $100, because that's what he gave him, 12 piles of $100. The guy says, I can't count it like this. There's too many people here. I'll take it to the counter. And he took it back to the counter and came back, and he says, you're $100 short. Here's the slip. He stuck 100 in his pocket, what he did. Oh, you don't have proof? Oh, come on, man. Both of us? Same one right after another, dealing with cash? I wasn't a DJ. He had a DJ job, this guy here. He had three DJ jobs he did on the weekends. He made $1,200, $400 for 6 hours or something like that, 4 hours. $100 an hour. He does the whole DJ party and everything. It costs $400 or something. And that's all cash, man. Pay it cash. You don't collect taxes, maybe. I don't know. Maybe he does. Maybe he's honest. But they ripped him off. I'm honest, and they ripped me off. Maybe he was honest. They ripped him off, and he just decided, I'm never coming back here. Later for you guys. They ripped me off. I spent $6,000 there, and I've been there almost 2 years. I spent $6,000 there, and they kicked me out, and now I can't. No place to take my warranties. I want my money back. I want my $6,000 back. You can have your equipment back too. I'll go someplace else and spend the money. You don't want me, $6,000. I'll go someplace else. Steal $100 from you over $6,000. Because I look like a hippie and I'm dealing with cash. And who's going to believe a hippie when it's word to word? I don't know. I give it to God. I put it in his heart. He does what he does with it. All I can do is forgive. If I forgive, possibly I can forget. Sometimes I just can't forget. Oh, it's hard. hard to forget. But you learned. You can't trust people. You can't trust everyone. There's those out there that are set their colors, and they make you hate. And if they can make you hate strong enough, then you'll go to hell. Because there's no haters in heaven, people. They're all in hell. They get even because they hate. Oh, if you want to love and forgive, then that's what God's looking for, people. Forgivers, lovers of God's life, pursuit of happiness. That's what we're entitled to, people. Pursuit of happiness. We're able to be self-preservation, too. We can defend our country. God says, shall not kill unless it's in defense of your country. Well, I'm fighting right now, people. Fighting for my country and its morality. We're killing babies, 65 million. And how many babies have we perverted since we've adopted? How many homosexuals out there married or living as married have adopted a child? And now what are they going to grow up when differential association sits in? You are who you hang out with, who you listen to at night. By the time you get sexually, you're looking for a man with a jar of Vaseline in your hand. And that's what we did to our youth. You pervert the youth, they'll grow up to your disgrace, people. That's the truth. You gotta chastise them, too. If they get out of line, give them a whipping once in a while. Let them know what it's like to break the law. Because if they go through life and they don't get any punishment for breaking the law, when they cheat and they do different things and they don't get caught for it and all that, and they get away with it, then it becomes a habit for them. And then you grow up to your parents' disgrace because you get thrown in jail because you get caught. Because you don't go without seeing Bubba in jail if you're a crook. That's your doom. You're doomed to Bubba calling you. Come here, boy. I want to talk to you for a little while. Tell you like it is, people. That's the way it is. You want to be evil? That's the consequences. Being evil. You're evil. Man. I don't know how many people in prison have been bitten in the face because they tried to call in lust somehow. Perverted lust. How many people got their nose bit off? You molest me, you dirty bastard. Bite your face off. And that's called hate. And that's why I gotta watch out, because if I hate, I can go to jail, and then Bubba be calling my name with about 5 guys holding me down. But sooner or later, I'm gonna get some noses, and I'm gonna get some bite marks in somebody's face for doing that to me. That's how you think when you're in prison. I know guys because they've been in prison. I know one guy who spent 5 years in prison for being an accomplice, and some guy received stolen goods and he was with him, so he got 5 years. Oh, come on. That's justice for a poor person. And give him 5 years to straighten this guy out. Yeah. Justice for a poor person. Well, anyways. Maybe I talk too much sometimes, but that's it. I'm going to do it one more time. Let's see what I got here. I got to get my blood moving one more time. Come on now. Come on now. I'm a slap fighter now. I don't punch you. I slap and knock you out. Because I know how to do it. I know how to knock people out, see? And I can do it with a slap. I've done it. I've done it. I've knocked people right out. Because I knew that if I hit them, I'd probably kill them. And then I'd have to go through all that. So, I slap box now. Yeah, I can slap box. You want to fight? Huh? Yeah. Instead of getting this. You're out and you're in the hospital for two weeks at least. That's what the last guy ended up in the hospital for 2 weeks when he attacked me. I'm not pissing puppy dog. I'm going down fighting. I'm going down fighting. They're not going to take me over. I'm a decorated war veteran. I'm going to fight for the rights of the United States of America. End abortion and get rid of the fags. Get rid of homosexuality. Gotta do it. They perverted me. I had a bad childhood because of them. And I'm fighting now. God's watching every move. He says, you won't be martyred, Billy. You'll be martyred in the heart because of the way things are. And that's what I'm being. Martyred in the heart. They stole from me and they blamed me and kicked me out of the place. Told me if I come back, they'd place me under arrest. The police officer did this. The Johnson City police officer. After I told him I got robbed. And he robbed me. And they took $100 from another guy. But I didn't tell him, check that other guy out. Check out my story. They even got a digital record of what happened at that transaction. They got it in Chicago. And I don't even think the owner knows because he told the cops there is no cameras here. And there is. There's a digital one. And all transactions are digitally recorded. They got what happened to me. If they got any guts, they're losing $65 million to thieves. See, thieves. They're poor. They come in, you work for minimum wage, and then they see that $2,000 guitar just sitting there. I can move if I get that. I could go get a job in some nice band somewhere. I get me a nice amplifier and a guitar. Because that's who they hire. They hire a bunch of musicians that are poor. They rob them blind. They're $45 million in the red. Guitar Center is. They can't sell out because all their insurances and everything are all combined together, you know. If you had to open up your own shop, you wouldn't be able to do it. I talked to another guy who's a musician that's had a shop for a long time. He told me they digitally watched what happened to you and they're not going to do nothing about it. Well, then they get what they get because they don't do nothing. That's what's being done here. They're not doing nothing. They know that I got stiffed and robbed. I should have a letter of apology and granted back my privileges on my warranties. Because where am I going to take them? There's not another Guitar Center around here. How am I going to get my warranties? You got to get in a car and travel and go get it done or send it in the mail and spend. It cost me $37 to send a hat to my brother in California. Light as a feather hat. $75. No, it was 30. I reversed it. $37 to send it in the mail from the post office. I says, well, how come it only costs $6.95 to send it to me, but it cost me $37 to send it back to California? because that's where it was sent from, a hat company in California. And it cost them $6.95 to send it, right? Because they do bulk, I guess. I'm just a poor guy. I'm a one-timer, you know. My brother's in the hospital and he needs something. He's got hit over the head with a crowbar, man. He's penniless. You can hardly think. His family's waddling back up to them, pissy, when they left him there on the floor for 3 days, dead. They pronounced him dead when they came and got him in the ambulance. And then somehow they revived him in the ambulance when they got him on the way to the hospital. He come back on and he says, I saw an angel. I want a priest. I saw an angel. And then after you sat around and thought about it for a while and everybody ridiculed him and this and that, he's less and less and less and less and he's not telling nobody. But he is going to church. He is going to confession. But he ain't out there saying to everybody, hey, I was dead, I saw an angel, and I came back to life. And I asked for a priest. Confess my sin. God didn't let me die. And he was my brother was a good man. Most of the time. He had that tenacity in him. My dad had it, too. My dad would fight a guy that was twice his size, get his leg broken, bitch, because the guy broke his leg. And what the heck did you even try to fight a guy that big for, Dad? He got drunk. That's what happened. He got drunker and shit, came home, his leg was busted, he's pounding it on the floor, stomping it. My leg's broke. I says, well, Dad, you're going to break it more, don't do that. I was only 7, 6, 7, somewhere around there. I had a brain in my head, you know. I know you wouldn't, if something's broke, you don't want to pound on it. Oh, gee. Then the next morning, the guy shows up, apologetic, you know, case of beer and all that stuff. And my dad said, oh, yeah, you know, that's how we get when you get drunk. Okay, it's all right, you broke my leg. Yeah, right. And then when the guy left, yeah, that son of a bitch, I should have hit him with a hammer, that bastard. Man, life, and it's the way you deal with it. You gotta forgive and forget. That's the whole key to everything. God says you forgive, you forget, and then you can love again. So that's what our message is. Fatima, Our Lady of Fatima, says love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. Oh, love, love. Love, 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 love. Oh, I love, 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 love. Yeah, I said love, love. I love, 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 love. I love, 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 love. Yeah. Everybody love. Everybody go to heaven. I hope. God bless you.